The FAA continues to investigate what led to a nationwide system outage that grounded all flights early this morning. Plus, House Republicans say they plan to investigate President Biden about the classified documents found in his former office. What we know about the files so far. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in. Flights are slowly resuming across the world after an overnight outage of a computer system that provides safety information to flight crews. The FAA has lifted its ground stop that caused major delays at U.S. airports nationwide today. Michael George has more.
The dreaded delayed sign greeted travelers as they arrived at airports across the country Wednesday morning after the FAA ordered all departing flights grounded for several hours following an outage of one of its computer systems.
This morning when we woke up, we heard the news, so we thought we're just going to rent a car and not fly.
The agency says the problem was an outage to its Notice to Air Mission System, or NOTAMs. It provides safety information to pilots. President Biden says he was briefed on the situation by Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
I just spoke with Buttigieg. They don't know what the cause is.
President responded, "We don't know," when asked about the possibility of a cyber attack, though the White House earlier said there's no evidence of a cyber attack. While the ground stop has been lifted, there's still a ripple effect that could last throughout the day as things slowly return to normal. Thousands of flights have been delayed and hundreds canceled.
We're going to be optimistic, but, hopefully they get everything up and running.
We've been delayed 3 times.
Tamara Williams is trying to get to Miami for a connecting flight to Costa Rica.
There are no more flights leaving today that would get us there on time, nor tomorrow, nor Friday.
This is the latest headache for U.S. travelers following flight cancellations over the holidays because of winter storms and a massive Southwest Airlines service disruption. Michael George, CBS News, LaGuardia Airport, New York.
And just last Monday, the FAA had a computer glitch that forced it to limit traffic in Florida airspace. The impacts are also being felt here in Dane County. Dane County Regional Airport officials say staff reported the NOTAM system was down around 2 a.m. At least 2 flights bound from Minneapolis were diverted to the airport. Those flights deboarded, forcing many to wait while the FAA figured out what was happening. We caught up with one Madison traveler who was planning to meet friends in Jamaica.
We've got people in Appleton, people in Atlanta, some of us here in Madison, and a few people we don't really know where they are.
If you are traveling today, officials recommend reaching out to the staff to see if your flight was delayed or canceled. As of right now, only a few flights are delayed. Let's head to the weather center now. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart has a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Nice day out there.
It is actually. Once again, it's the middle of January and we're still dealing with almost 40 degrees out there. So once again, it is nice. This is Platteville looking at. They've cleared out the skies completely. And that's what I think most of us will see. That system that impacted mainly to the north with the ice is pushed off to the east. We're seeing less cloud cover right now. Temperatures already 40 degrees in Madison. We'll climb up a little bit higher. You see there are clear skies to the west right now. We zoom in overall. Like I said, it is warming up and clearing skies, which is the good news. Back out, we do have a couple systems to keep an eye. One to the north, and then the cloud cover west of Omaha is another system that will impact us a little bit later tonight and tomorrow. We'll get more details of that in a little bit. Otherwise, 45 already in Janesville, 47 in Kenosha. Like I said, we're talking about 10 to 15 degrees above average here for the middle of January, so really can't complain too much with these temperatures. Overall, Dane County right around 40 degrees is pretty much common for all the areas. Visibility a little bit out there, but overall we've seen quite a bit of improvement. Still to the north, there are some lower spots with visibility. Temperatures you see ahead of this next wave out to the west. We've warmed up considerably ahead of it. There is some colder air behind it, which we're going to take note of. As you look at the impacts through tomorrow, not much snow in the way or rain. Some fog may be coming back in and some winds out of the north, and I'll explain how those winds will affect our temperature tomorrow, along with the first look at the weekend weather a bit later in the broadcast.
40 degrees on January 11th.
Yeah, can't complain, I guess.
Can't complain. Thanks, Greg. Fire officials are investigating after a van was found engulfed in flames outside of Discount Tire in West Madison. News 3 now received these photos from a viewer showing the massive flames. Crews were called to the scene on Junction Road around 9:30 last night. No one was in the car and no injuries reported, but it's unclear what caused the fire. New at noon, no one was hurt in a house fire in Jefferson County overnight. Crews got a call around midnight about a home on East Linden Drive near Stoppenbach Park in Jefferson. They fought the fire until about 4 a.m. It's unclear what caused that fire. Also new, the Green Lake County Sheriff's Office says 6 dogs that were stolen from a Dalton home over the weekend have been found. In a Facebook post, the Sheriff's Office said that 4 puppies and 2 adult Pomeranians were taken from the home's front yard on Sunday. A woman was spotted driving off with the dogs. It's unclear where the dogs were found or if the woman will be charged. The city of Beloit is combining its polling locations for the February primary due to an expected low voter turnout. The changes are only for the February primary. Those living on the west side of the Rock River will vote at the Beloit Historical Society, and those on the east side will vote at Central Christian Church. You can find more information on this story at channel3000.com. President Biden is responding to the discovery of documents marked classified at his former office in Washington, D.C. He said he was surprised to learn classified documents were found at the office. Sources say the documents are from the time of his vice presidency and had varying levels of classification markings, including some highly classified. The discovery is drawing comparisons to the investigation into former President Trump's handling of classified documents after he left the White House. Well, last night, Prince Harry made surprising new revelations on CBS's The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. The two joked about Harry's voyage of self-discovery through therapy after a royal upbringing, which he says was short on physical affection. There's also some serious moments, including when they discussed Harry's rift with his brother, Prince William, and if things would be different if their mother was still alive.
We wouldn't have got to this moment, but there is no way that the distance between my brother and I would be the same.
Did you have an image of your mind of where she
And
was?
speaking of royal history, Harry even confessed that he watches The Crown, fact-checking it along the way. All right, there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. The chairman of the Federal Reserve discusses his stance on if the Fed should lend money to energy companies, and could gas stoves get banned in the U.S. That's coming up in the Money Watch report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
It's Steinhaffel's winter mattress sale. Nestle in for a good night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress. You'll sleep soundly with $45 per month with Steinhaffel's 72-month financing. Tempur-Pedic mattresses are designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting you as no other mattress can. The winter mattress sale, only at Steinhaffel's and Steinhaffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhaffel's.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
Like our $9.99 XLNY pizza. It's everything you'd expect from a classic New York-style pizza, hot and fresh out of your oven.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Are you sick of the areas of your home being cold in the winter or hot in the summer? Your house is a complete system of components that need to work together, similar to the human body. Just like us, your home needs to breathe too. If we're letting our home breathe fresh air, we'll be healthier and regulate our temperature better. Wouldn't it be great if we could show you all the areas needing improvement in just minutes without tearing the house apart? That is what our thermal imaging does for you. It will show the temperature differences in areas of air exchange. Then you'll know what areas need to be improved. Just like going to the doctor, except these doctors do house calls. This will also help in preventing the entrance of harmful pollutants inside your house. You can now easily bring down the energy bills and have a durable and safe home environment with Fry Construction. Visit fryconstruction.com today for your free thermal imaging consultation and save 23% on select insulation services.
Lake Ridge may be a new name, but it isn't a new bank. It's one built on over a century of community commitment. One equipped with all the knowledge and resources of 145 collective years of experience. Monona Bank and State Bank of Cross Plains are coming together as one. As Lake Ridge Bank, we're doing more together for you.
With my low energy, I can't even blow up this celebratory balloon.
At Planet Fitness, there's hope. Now through January 12th, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and turn your low energy into big fitness energy in 2023 in a clean and spacious, judgment-free zone with tons of equipment to get you energized.
Low E? Not for me.
Simply join through the free PF app for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, January 12th.
In a speech in Sweden on Tuesday, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said efforts to tackle high inflation by raising interest rates may not be politically popular, but added the Fed's independence makes it easier to make those decisions without social or political influence. Powell also said the Fed is not and will not be a climate policymaker. It's a stance that puts him at odds with environmental activists who've pushed central banks worldwide to take steps to restrict lending to energy companies. The head of the Consumer Product Safety Commission told Bloomberg News the agency is now considering a ban on gas stoves. This comes as evidence mounts they're a risk to human health. In addition to climate change concerns, a December study found gas stoves are linked to 13% of child asthma cases. The American Gas Association said efforts to ban gas stoves should raise alarm bells for the 187 million Americans who depend on them. And there's an update to the bizarre story of a Missouri woman who was awarded over $5 million from Geico after she allegedly contracted a sexually transmitted disease from a man inside his car, which was covered by the insurance company. Geico is off the hook from paying for now after the Missouri Supreme Court ruled the company should have had a chance to weigh in sooner. The case was sent back to a lower court for further deliberation. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials up 121 points. The NASDAQ up 119. The S&P 500 gaining about 26.5. Our call for action volunteers are in the building, taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. You're taking a live look at the Call for Action studio. Volunteers are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can call for action right now at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. A newly released report says cigarette sales in Wisconsin have plummeted over the past 20 years. The number of packs of cigarettes purchased in the state dropped from 420 million in 2001 to just under 193 million in 2022. During that time span, a statewide smoking ban took effect. Taxes were increased on cigarettes 3 times, and there was a growth in substitute products like vaping. Pam has today's egg prices next, along with Greg's complete forecast. And then today on Live at 4, we'll have a recap of the Golden Globes, including some of the big winners from last night.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
At Lawton Cates, Your Life Counts is more than just a slogan. It's providing guidance after a serious accident. From the first phone call, we're by your side, helping with the important decisions. Not just for your medical care, but for your family's peace of mind. The Lawton Cates team combines experience and genuine compassion because we know how much is at stake, and we're dedicated to ensuring you can heal and move forward. At Lawton Cates, your life counts. Call today for a free consultation.
With reliable COVID-19 results in just 15 minutes, everyone is making room for Binax Now in their medicine cabinet.
Do we still need these pregnancy tests?
Yeah, no.
Out with the old, in with the #1 COVID-19 self-test in the U.S. with the same technology doctors use to test for COVID-19. Binax now.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
This story is incredible. A couple who set aside their Christmas to cater to others. The Robinsons fed and housed dozens on the Buffalo Blizzard. I love moments like this.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
Millions of kids use the TikTok app, but security concerns are on the rise, even here in Wisconsin. Tomorrow, we'll ask a local expert how families can stay cyber safe.
Looks like the mild January weather will continue into next week. Join us tomorrow between 4:30 and 7.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. 40 degrees in January.
Can you believe it? I tell you, my little hounds went out just before I came back to the office, and they're happy about it all. That's one good thing. The only part I'm not happy about is the muddy paws. But hey, we'll take this. That is for sure. Hey, I had promised you that I was going to show you some of the fun behind the scenes happening up in Wisconsin Dells at the Wisconsin Fair Association's annual convention. Take a look. They've got probably in the neighborhood of 1,000 to 1,200 people from all across the state. One of the major goals is trying to find some of the entertainment and the acts, the strolling acts, etc., that are going to be happening at county fairs all across the state. So take a look. It is just a bunch of fun. That gentleman right there, a specialist in taking those blow-up balloons and turning them into different things. Really good for the little kids that are at the county fair. Of course, you've got the strolling act and those kinds of entertainment. So if you ever stopped and thought about, wow, I wonder how they find these people. Well, at the Wisconsin Fair Association convention, that is a perfect example of just all of the opportunities that they've got for entertainment, depending on their budget and the schedule. Scheduling can get to be a pretty big deal, but like I said, different than any convention I get a chance to cover during the calendar year, and just a lot of fun. There's Linda Degner on my left-hand side from Shell Lake. She was one of the winners of Everybody Has a Fair Story, along with Jackie Rosenbush, that gal that's on my right. She is our current Fairs to the Fair. Now, tonight, 38 candidates from across the state will be wrapping up the final set of interviews. Tonight, we will find out who the 2023 Fairest of the Fairs is. That's the ambassador that really travels all across the state, welcoming people to county, district, as well as the Wisconsin State Fair. I'll have it all up for you if you want to follow along. Fabulous Farm Babe on Facebook is generally where we put all the news and the pictures first. So if you want to kind of follow along tonight, it's going to be a late night. I've got my Charity Seebecker up there, but she's taking care of things in a very prompt fashion. Not much I can tell you about the dairy complex today. Everything very quiet. Barrel cheese, 40-pound block cheese, AA butter, all wrap up on a Wednesday. Very quiet, much like this weather scene that we're experiencing out there. Like you said, this is crazy for this part of January. Holy potato bugs. Yeah, it really we're going to pay for it.
All right, Pam. Thank you. Have fun tonight.
See ya.
Opposite weather, the misery continues for millions of weather-battered people in California. They've been hit by torrential rain, causing flooding, landslides, and power outages. More than 30,000 people are under evacuation orders, and at least 17 people have died in these storms since late December. Even commuters at the Union Station had to get their feet wet, with workers ferrying others through the water on carts. Some good news is that some reservoirs are filling up, as most of the state is still in a drought, but most of the storm runoff will end up in the ocean. Here's Greg now, and those storms responsible for our warmer weather.
Yeah, pretty much keeps that Pacific air kind of coming through our area. Really, you look at the big picture throughout Monday, you can see these waves coming across. Here's the one that actually hit California, came across, hits us, really weakens as it heads our way. And then over time, they're starting to actually lift more further north. So this pattern is going to start to eventually change here. But in the meantime, it keeps the cold air locked to the north, and we don't get really strong systems come through. We just get a little bit of these weak waves come through. As you can kind of see, it's kind of split with the one south and one north. So So we keep that going. That's why we don't see much in the way of precipitation and definitely don't see any cold temperatures. But that will change, I think, eventually, as she said. We might be paying for this later on in February, probably, is what we're going to see. If you look at the satellite picture from another position, we have the one wave we're looking at here that's going to head south of us here in the next 24 hours. We have something up to the north that's going to kind of push southeast. We're going to get impacted by both of them, but once again, we're not going to see a lot of precipitation with this over the next 24 hours. Probably more cloud cover will be the big thing, and maybe some cooler temperatures tomorrow. Right now, you look at it, you can see we've got a little weak low here. You'll see the winds later tonight will turn north as the system begins to pull colder air to the south. That'll mean we'll have more breezier conditions going into tomorrow, more January-like temperatures with a few snow showers, especially as we go towards the evening. I think that's when we'll start seeing more of the showers pop up. You'll start seeing that right east. As you see, the winds continue to blow throughout Thursday night. And then on Friday, once again, more seasonal temperatures. We'll start to see the clouds finally break up by Friday, which sets the store for a pretty nice and mild weekend for most of the temperatures. We'll see back into the 40s. Right now, we're pretty warm. We'll see those temperatures mid-40s. They'll slowly cool off overnight as the winds begin to turn around. Once again, we'll see a few flurries. Patchy fog once again, or low clouds will probably develop over most of the area later tonight until we get more of that cold air begins to push for tomorrow morning. As you see overnight, some temperatures still hovering around freezing. As you wake up, the winds will start picking up, a few flurries, cloudy, and then overall tomorrow will be more typical January weather with stronger northerly winds blowing, a few show showers or flurries, especially towards the evening, and temperatures like you see, more mid-30s, a little bit above average, but definitely not the 40s that we saw or seeing today. But overall, you see that little line starts to pick up. We're seeing more enhancement of the showers. Maybe by tomorrow's evening commute will be something to keep in mind of. Not expecting a lot of precipitation with this, but once again, a little timing at a certain time could cause some issues. Visibility, we mentioned about fog potential tonight. I think we will see some of that begin to push back in the area, but it's not going to be a long-lasting fog. I think once the winds start picking out of the north, that colder air gets down here, I think we'll start seeing visibilities improve by tomorrow morning pretty quick. Cloud cover, unfortunately, will be around. Snow amounts with this, not much the next 24 hours with this in the backside of this with the cold air coming. Once again, not even close to an inch, maybe a half inch at the most. But the timing, once again, if we get that timing right at Thursday evening commute, we might see some impacts from that. Overall, the weekend looks good. We're seeing temperatures warm back up to 40. The next chance of rain, and this looks pretty good to be a wet period, probably a Sunday night into Monday. And that could last through the whole week. We could probably see some breaks in between, but I think by the end of next week, we're going to start getting into a colder pattern. I think that rain will be to snow. Could be some accumulation towards the end of next week, still early to tell, but I do think we'll start seeing some colder air the pattern will begin to change a little bit, but the weekend still looks fairly good.
All right, we'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Greg. A standoff over clean energy is escalating overseas, with police in Germany moving in on protesters in a village set to be swallowed up by a coal mine. CBS's Tina Kraus reports from London.
A heated battle has ignited between police and protesters in a village in Germany that will be demolished to make room for the expansion of a coal mine. Climate activists from across Europe have descended on the town of Lützerath, barricading themselves in what they call a fight for a clean future.
If this coal is burned, we're actually going to take down our climate goals. Our climate goals cannot be reached.
Many demonstrators are squatting in homes residents have abandoned. A German court has ordered them to leave, and police are starting to make arrests.
Recht dynamischer Auftakt, würde ich sagen.
This police spokesman says things are getting a bit intense, with some protesters throwing stones and Molotov cocktails. Environmentalists say climate change concerns are taking a back seat during Europe's energy crisis, which was triggered by the war in Ukraine, forcing a return to dirtier fuels. This activist says it's infuriating to see police are trying to clear the area, but we will stand to defend the town and make sure coal stays in the ground. German police say it could take weeks to clear protesters who are refusing to budge. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
And the German government has promised to phase out coal completely within 8 years, but says the expansion of this plant is needed to ensure current energy supplies. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Grab your culinary passport and your appetite, because today we're making a dish from northern Italy. It's risotto, and it's creamy, easy to love, and so versatile.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Plexiderm. And if you haven't tried Plexiderm, we've created the best offer yet with our New Year's Plexiderm 10-Minute Challenge. All it takes is 10 minutes to reduce the appearance of under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. Even the 11 lines between your eyes are visibly gone in minutes. Plexiderm works so well that celebrities in Hollywood and people just like you feel years younger in minutes. This is why I'm letting people try it for only $14.95 this New Year at plexidermtrial.com.
So I've had under eye bags for a very long time and it sucks. I have spent so much money on tons of eye creams, eye gels. Finally, I tried something called Plexiderm, and I'm not joking, it works. When I do a collage and everything is done, it looks amazing. That is exactly how Plexiderm makes me feel. I put it on my face, and somehow, some way, I look together, which is amazing. I'm Jackie, and I took the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge, and so should you.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, seriously, honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there, like the bags are gone.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shale rock. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing the appearance of under-eye bags and wrinkles in minutes. This New Year is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. So if under-eye bags make you look tired or feel older, take action this New Year and see that younger-looking you. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Every family is a little bit different, and we'd all love life to be a little bit simpler. No matter where you work or how hard you play, you need reliable appliances to help you conquer the inevitable hectic day. Whether you're optimizing space for the next great race or looking for a quiet place, Criterion appliances are ready when you are.
What do you say I share a recipe with you that in the past you may have been intimidated by? It's risotto, and it originates in northern Italy. Over the years, it's become crazy popular here in the States. And once you find out how easy it is to make, you'll wonder why you didn't make it sooner. The first thing you want to do is warm some chicken broth in a saucepan, and we'll come back to this in a sec. Now, in a large saucepan, we saute some onions and mushrooms in a little butter until they're tender. Then we stir in some arborio rice, garlic, and a bit of wine. And cook that until the wine is absorbed. Now here's the trick to making creamy risotto. Slowly add in the warm chicken broth, 1 cup at a time, stirring it until it's absorbed. Right before serving, stir in a bit more butter, some Parmesan cheese, parsley, and pepper, and it's done. See, I told you it was easy. And once you take your first forkful, I have a pretty good feeling that this will become part of your monthly dinner routine. You could even add some cooked shrimp or chicken to it. To get the recipe for our creamy mushroom risotto, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a Northern Italian way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Here's Greg now, one final check of the forecast.
Yeah, we got more clouds and maybe some flurries and fog coming tonight. Flurries, snow showers through tomorrow. Colder tomorrow, but then dry through the weekend.
All right, looking good. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.